personally think like my experience, my outside world experience hasn't been much fun. I recall moments where people have been commenting on the music I released with Testosteruins has been soy boy metal and stuff that is effeminated or that lacks. Of course, we understand how insecure are these people and the fact that it provokes them to see that their territory, they're losing some sort of territory. I mean, I don't think heavy metal music is in any way an exception in this. It's the same classic equation where people and patriarchal figures and people with insecurities try to panic when they see things that are a little bit uncomfortable for their own position in the game. So I think in the surface it's been quite like not much fun in a way that it provokes a lot of these people, I mean, who are not really happy with the fact that they see somebody betraying them, as they think, from their own gender. Because of the binary thinking, they think it's a clash of clans and that man should always stand for man, which is unfortunately the case. And it happens every day, in every case, in different contexts. I know that in your case you're using heavy metal as an environment where things happen, and it is quite specific and has some specificities, but I really see a lot of common points more than differences compared to any other environment, any other workspace or workplace, any other field of work, in culture or in the industry. It's the same equation everywhere. I think heavy metal even has a deeper problem historically because it's been very much quantitatively and qualitatively soaked in patriarchy and in machoism. But I'll go back to my own perspective on things. I think the experience I have, the feedback I got, which doesn't affect me at all, is more like getting provoked. Of course, everybody else would appreciate it, and think that that's fine. I mean, it's super fine. For me, I don't think, introspectively, I don't think you need to be a man or a woman to be a feminist. I think it's feminism is, for me, is just it's a preliminary step towards humanism, because I think humanism is a bit vague and it's too early to speak about it, while there are more fundamental problems, and I believe that most human issues stems from the feminist question and the fact that there are polarities and there is total imbalance and inequality between the very fundamental elements of what human society is. So I think feminism is just a warm-up to humanism. It's what should come first, and it doesn't come doesn't question or require anything related to who you are in terms of gender or beyond genders. So for me, that's how I think introspectively, but that's my vision. I think it doesn't mean anything to be a man, to be a feminist. Being a feminist is almost like a reflex. I mean, it's obvious. You could see it. You need to balance the situation first before you want to move on to any development in terms of societal development. So that's my vision and experience with such issues, as I said, in the context of testosteruins, because it's a social media and it's open for the world. It hasn't been much fun, I would say. And in the same time, not much feminists, either being men or women, listen much to heavy metal music, I would say. It's not very tempting, it's not very much their element, it's not the most popular music in those environments. While in my own life, I think here in Sweden, it's been quite taken for granted. I mean, especially where I live. Of course, Sweden is not totally homogeneous. There are regions where there's still a lot of homophobic behavior, a lot of racist and xenophobic behavior, which is from the same garbage can. And I think sexism is the most primary. It's the onset of it all starts always with despising women, and then it evolves to despising others and despising other colors, people with other colors, and despising people who are just different. So when it comes to my experience in Sweden has been super fun. I mean, in my work or in my daily life, It's not like I walk around with a T-shirt or like a label, but people from the close circles in my job know that I'm not neutral about the subject, and I could step quite actively in these contexts where the feminist issue or the feminist vision, let's say, the idea that we should always balance it, we should always realize that everything around our language, around our social traditions, around our reflexes can be totally polluted with these notions that we inherited over the years. So it's more like a reflex, and also it's a pedagogical process. I every time I develop a project or work with something, I always question myself and see if I'm stepping on like red lines when it comes to, because it's not evident, you know. If you just follow even the language I'm using, it's already full of traps and misconceptions.